Okay, so I'm going to need to show you guys how to set up a project, and I'm going to show you how to bring in reference images and put them into Maya so that they're usable. And my reference images are going to be garbage, but I will go ahead and explain it anyway, so I didn't bother to download any or draw any images for the tutorial. Anyway, so you've got Maya open, and you've got a blank scene, an empty scene. And to create a project, the first thing you need to do is create a project. So you go to File, Project window, and inside the project window you want to click New, and then you're going to name that project to, I'm going to call mine Demo _ Maya _ project. Something you should know about Maya is it does not like spaces. If you want to add a space to a name anywhere in Maya, underscore is the way to do that. Okay, so I've got my project named, and now I need to navigate to where I want it to be. So I'm going to go to our class folder that I created, and it's going to be inside of this folder. So I say select. Now all these folders down here, I always just leave them as default. But you could rename these if you want to. It's going to create all these directories inside this project folder, which I will show you here in a second. And so I'll just click accept. Okay. Doesn't appear that like anything happened, but it did. If I go to my file browser, you can go to DGM 2210 Fall 2014. There's my Demo Maya project. I open that up. There's all the subdirectories that it created for me, and this is going to help me stay organized. And it's not only going to help me stay organized, it's going to help Maya stay organized, because Maya is going to create some files for you without telling you that it's doing it. If you have not set a project, created a project, and then set it, which I will show you how to set it here in a second, then it's going to create those files into the default project, which, if you go to your documents, there's a folder created by Maya when you install it called Maya, and then you can see I've had a bunch of different versions installed, but Maya 2015, oh I lied, oh just right here outside of that. So inside of Maya you get a projects folder, and then you have a default folder. This is your default project. If you don't set your project, this is where your files are going to be saved by default. So if they're not where you expect them to be, this is where to look. Okay. Now that we're in Maya, back in Maya, we've got a project created. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's been set, meaning that that's the project that you're going to use. So if you go to File, Set Project, and then you want to click the project, and then click Set. Okay, now it's set. Still no changes. But if I go to File, Open, it's going to automatically look inside the Scenes folder of that project that I have set. And that's really handy. It also turns out that if I just really quick create a polygon, I'll assign a material to it. Put a file on it. If I'm trying to find an image that for this sphere that I just created, it's going to look inside the source images folder inside my project folder. So if you put your imagery that you need to use inside of Maya for this project in the source images folder, it's going to automatically take you there. That's kind of nice. It saves you from a lot of file browsing. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of that and delete my sphere. Okay, now the next thing we want to do is set up image planes, and those are going to house your reference imagery so that you can use to model from. Okay, now I've got some bad images, and maybe I'll go ahead and do a better job of this than I thought I was going to do, and I'll pause my recording and find some imagery that I can use for this part of the demo. Okay, so I just downloaded some orthographic imagery from the web, and I stole it. And I'm going to open that in Photoshop, and I'm going to split it up into multiple images. So I need to go to my, saved it in my project folder. The imagery that's not going to show up in Maya in the end result, I like to put in the images folder. Now the source images folder is stuff that's going to be used for like at render time when we're translating our three-dimensional scene into a film or film pieces. So I'm going to open this up, and the first thing I want to do is draw some guides down. I want to make sure that this character really is lined up at the feet. Okay, I want to draw another one at the top of the head, because I want to make sure that these guys are the same height from every angle. Doesn't do any good to use different sized when you're trying to model from them, because it may be too big in one drawing and it may be too small in another drawing. So you just want to be aware of that. Okay. Now I've got those done. I'm going to select my marquee tool. I'm going to select this first drawing. Press Ctrl T to resize it. And I'm going to drag the top of this guy's head up to match the line. I need to hold down Shift to make sure I restrict the proportions. Okay, that one's good. Okay, I'm going to select this guy for this drawing and do the same thing. Control T. That'll work. It's really easy to be picky right here, and it can save you a lot of trouble later. If you're picky right here for like 2 seconds, then it can save you hours later on in Maya. Okay. Now I'm going to select, keep this selection, and I'm going to go to Image, Crop. I'm going to press Control Alt Shift S to save for web. It's the easiest way I know of. I like to use PNG 24s, and I'll click Save. I think I clicked it. No, I guess I didn't. I missed. Navigate to the folder where it belongs. I'm going to put that in my images folder again, and this is my hind view, my rear view, or back view, whatever you want to call it. We'll just call it back and save it. I'm going to undo, make a new selection, and I want to make sure I select the entire height of the canvas. Okay, going to Image, Crop, save it. Again, that was the Control Alt Shift S, save, and this is a side view. Undo, select my front view. Press save too soon. Need to crop it. And on this one, I want to make sure it's centered in the image. So now that I've cropped it, let me recrop it and get it more centered. Okay, and I didn't pay attention to my back view. I should have done this on the back view as well, but I'm not going to for tutorial's sake, timing's sake. Okay, save it. Save. This is front.